little bit here in the next few minutes. Good morning, Margie. How are you?
Morning, I'm great. How are you?
As expected, you're on your way to a softball event, correct?
I'm on my way to a softball tournament up in Stafford.
Nice. I guess it never ends with the softball, right? I mean, you got Megan and Katie; they're both involved, and your sons as well with the baseball. You're the epitome of the traveling mom, right?
I'm pretty much 24/7 with it.
Tell our listeners who may not have had a chance to pick up the latest copy of Glory Days magazine a little bit about the backstory that I wrote about with you and Meg. Obviously, you were an outstanding pitcher in your day at Atlantic City High School. So give us a brief recap of your career and now your daughter being a star pitcher at Atlantic City.
I pitched for Atlantic City High School, and then I went to Camden County and got recruited and went to Georgian Court. And then, now it's Megan's turn.
You're leaving out a few things, like being an All-American and being in the Atlantic City Hall of Fame.
Yes, I was an All-American as a pitcher for my strikeouts and my ERA. It was a pretty incredible experience.
So now, at what age did Megan really start showing promise as a pitcher? Did you realize early on that she was going to be sort of a protege of yours?
She had a pretty strong arm, and when she started throwing, I realized that she had a gift. So she wanted to throw. She would beg me to go out and play and pitch, and so I kind of took her out a little bit, but we didn't push it, and the more she asked, then the more we took her out.
Now, how famous are you guys now being on the cover of Glory Days magazine? I know that's a big thing around here, right?
Pretty cool when you get called to your principal's office.
Really? Tell us about that story.
Well, he came down. Glenn actually brought the copy to school, and my principal called me down and wanted to see the article, and he was really excited and proud of Megan as well.
Yeah, talk about Megan a little bit. I mean, what a great young lady. She's, aside from being a great softball pitcher, a 4.3 student and really getting the job done in the classroom as well. And like you said, when we were chatting, that's what makes you the most proud.
I am so proud of her. Her academics are kind of ridiculous. She's a very special kid, and she's very motivated and dedicated to her schoolwork as much as her softball career.
Now, I know it's been a little bit of a tough season for Atlantic City Vikings. They're kind of in rebuilding mode. When Megan was a freshman, they made it all the way to the South Jersey Group 4 championship game, and then a lot of those girls graduated, so now you have a lot of players who don't have a lot of varsity experience, and that's been a little bit tough on everybody. I know talking to Coach Jason Grimes, he was saying they're trying to build up this year, get better every time, and hopefully have a pretty good year next year. We always talk about the star players and the great teams a lot in the media, but, at the high school level, this can be a learning experience as well for all these young ladies as trying to deal with adversity, get better. And, as far as Megan being the star pitcher, a lot's on her shoulders to keep the team in the game. How has she responded to that challenge?
I think she's really handled it well. She has a lot of very positive kids on the team. They're not full of attitude and arrogance. They're sponges trying to learn. They work really hard. It's just frustrating because in a practice they'll do really well and then struggle, and a lot of that is just game experience.
Sure.
So I think as they go through, they'll keep developing, and we'll see more and more positivity coming out of their play.
I was actually at a game when they played Vineland, and Vineland's a very good team in South Jersey, and even though Atlantic City was losing, I thought it was really impressive that the girls they never stopped cheering for each other. They were in the game. Coach Grimes does a great job keeping them in the game and really supporting each other no matter what the score is. And it must be great to see that as a mom, and you can kind of sit there on the side and talk to the other moms and really feel good about the effort these girls are putting in.
Yeah, I think it's both ways. It's very difficult to watch at times because it's hard to watch some of the situations that happen, but it's also extremely proud to watch the positive end, that they're picking each other up, they're talking, they're working through situations. So it really builds their character dealing with adversity.
So now you're a mom of a couple of teenagers and some younger boys coming up. How are the teenage years treating you?
It's always interesting. Every day is a different situation, and Megan's driving now, so that in itself is kind of insane. But they're very supportive of each other when they're playing on the field. They're all pitchers, which is pretty crazy. But they're all there for each other. And tomorrow, everybody will be at the field to support Katie while she's playing.
Now, she's a pretty good player in her own right. I know Coach Grimes is anticipating her arrival at Atlantic City High next year. She's an 8th grader. How neat is that going to be for you, having two daughters in high school together at the same time and both playing on the same team?
I'm so excited because Katie brings a little more fire than Megan does to the field. And I think she'll spark even more intensity in the team. And she could even see some pitching time. So it'll be really exciting for me to watch the two of them together for 1 year.
I talk about this a lot, not only in this radio show, but also in Glory Days magazine. A lot of times I hear people my age, in their 30s and 40s, talk about kind of romanticize when they were younger a little bit. Oh, the kids these days aren't what they used to be. And I always say that's a good thing, because when you realize what these kids today are going through with the pressures they have with the schoolwork and trying to get money for college, both academically and athletically, just some of the schedules these kids keep is just, like you said, it's insane. I don't know how they do it all. Do you ever stop and think about, my gosh, man, Megan's a 4.3 student taking all these honors classes. She's probably up late doing homework and all that stuff. And do you ever marvel at how she gets all that done?
I teach, so I see it in my children, and I also see it in my students. It's a completely different level nowadays between academics and sports. And a lot of these kids are playing other sports as well. Like I coach track for the school, and Katie runs track as well as playing softball for her travel team and her city team. Megan plays for Atlantic High, her travel team, and for the city team.
Wow.
So it's really crazy, but they make sacrifices in different situations to achieve what they're achieving. But we also know when to shut it down, when they need a break, when they need to step away, take a day off. Glenn's really good at balancing that within the kids. And you can see it in their personalities when they're starting to hit an edge. Mm-hmm. So I think as a parent, that's the hardest part, is finding that balance.
We're talking with Margie Master, mom of Megan Master. She's a star pitcher for the Atlantic City High School softball team. Margie, tomorrow, Mother's Day, are you going to take the day off? What does Glenn have planned? Is he gonna cook for you? Is he gonna take care of everything?
Well, tomorrow's championship day at the Stafford tournament. So we'll be at the field. I'll be working the snack stand for a little bit. No place I'd rather be. Diamonds are a girl's best friend, right? So right. I'll be at the ball field.
So I guess in typical Master fashion, no days off, even for mom on Mother's Day, right?
Nah, I wouldn't want that anyway.
Good stuff, Margie. I appreciate you taking a few minutes. We're up against the clock here, but thank you for telling us your story and talking about your daughters and your sons, and enjoy Mother's Day.
Thank you so much for everything.
No problem. Have a good weekend.
You too.
That was Margie Master, mom of Megan Master. She's an outstanding pitcher in the Cape Atlantic League with the Atlantic City High School Vikings.